I've lived in Cypress Hills for 8 years, long enough to know that our HOA was a circus, and Karen Dawes was the ringleader. She wasn't just a Karen by personality, she was also the HOA treasurer, a position she wielded like a royal scepter. If a mailbox was an inch too tall, violation notice. If your hydrangeas dared to bloom in the wrong hue, fine. If your dog barked once at 2 p.m. on a Saturday, big trouble. But nobody expected what she would pull one warm Friday morning at the little coffee shop on Maple Street. The place was called Dockside Brews, owned by a young couple, Brandon and Mia. It was the heart of the neighborhood, half cafe, half therapist's office, all caffeine salvation. They made the kind of mocha that made you rethink the meaning of life. I was sitting by the window sipping my usual when Karen stormed in, sunglasses on, lips pursed so tight they could slice steel. The cafe went quiet, even the espresso machine paused like it sensed danger. The crime nobody saw coming. Karen strutted straight to the register. I'm picking up the HOA's weekly order, she declared. Mia blinked. The HOA doesn't have a weekly order. Karen huffed. Excuse me, I authorized one. She turned and glared at all of us like we should confirm it. Nobody did. Then she grabbed the tip jar. Not the money inside, the whole jar. She shoved it in her giant leather handbag like she was loading a cannon. A gasp rippled through the room. Ma'am, Brandon stepped forward, palms out. That's our staff's tips. Karen's smile was the kind of smile you'd expect from someone moments before doing something spectacularly stupid. Well, maybe if you ran a legitimate HOA discount program like we discussed. You mean the program where you get free drinks and we lose money? Mia shot back. Karen's eyes narrowed. You can consider this reimbursement. She turned, heels clicking, and marched right out of the shop. Nobody moved for several seconds. It was like watching a slow-motion train crash. I stood up. You're calling the police, right? Brandon exhaled shakily. Not yet. There's something you should see. He motioned us behind the counter and pulled up the security feed. Karen hadn't just taken the jar. She had taken the cash tray, too. Right out of the register. Like she was grocery shopping with dollar bills. That's felony theft, someone whispered. Not if she brings it back, Mia said. But I think we all know she won't. The HOA meeting from hell. 2 days later, the HOA held its monthly meeting. I went early, expecting chaos. I underestimated. The room was packed. Neighbors stood shoulder to shoulder. Everyone whispered the same thing. She stole from the coffee shop. She emptied the register. She's about to get roasted. Karen sat at the front like a smug queen on her plastic throne. She looked annoyed. Like we'd all inconvenienced her by existing. The president, Gerald, cleared his throat. We need to discuss the allegations. Allegations? Karen snapped. I did nothing wrong. A collective groan rolled through the crowd. Actually, Gerald said, you stole from a small business. Karen crossed her arms. I collected funds owed to the HOA. They were behind on community contribution fees. What the hell is that? Shouted Mrs. Hayes from the back. It's a new fee I created, Karen said. You can't create fees. Someone yelled. I'm the treasurer. I can absolutely create fees. No, I said, stepping forward, you can't steal money because you invented a fee in your head. She glared at me. You don't understand HOA policy. Lady, I said, you don't understand laws. That's when Brandon and Mia walked in. And the room erupted. People clapped. Someone whistled. Even Gerald smiled. Mia set a laptop on the table and pressed play. Up came the footage. Crystal clear, and devastating. Karen, grabbing the tip jar. Karen, ripping the cash tray out. Karen, stuffing it all into her oversized HOA-branded tote bag. When the clip ended, the silence was thick. Gerald folded his hands. Karen, you are suspended as treasurer pending. I will not be suspended. She screeched. This is harassment. I have given my life to this HOA. Give it back, Brandon said simply. Give what back? She demanded. Everything you took, he replied calmly. Or we press charges. Instead of answering, she grabbed her purse and ran out of the room. The investigation. For the next 3 days, Karen went into hiding. Nobody saw her car. Nobody saw her go to work. She even skipped her morning walk where she normally roamed the neighborhood searching for rule violations like a heat-seeking missile. Meanwhile, Dockside Brews was struggling. "We lost almost $500, Mia told me. That money pays our baristas." Neighbors started tipping extra, but it wasn't enough. Gerald visited the shop, apologized for the wall, and promised a resolution. "We're holding an emergency vote," he said. "And the police are involved." Karen must have sensed the walls closing in because she finally showed up, storming into the shop at noon on Wednesday. The confrontation at Dockside Brews. She slammed her purse onto the counter. "You people," she barked. "You humiliated me." "We didn't steal from anyone," Mia replied. Karen thrust the purse open. "Fine. Take your money." Inside was a mess. Receipts, pens, a broken sunglasses case. But no tip jar, no cash tray, just a single crumpled $5 bill. "This is all I have on me," she said. "I can't return money I already deposited." My jaw dropped. "You deposited stolen money," she pointed at me. "You need to mind your own business." "Ma'am," Brandon said firmly, "we've already filed the report." The second he said it, the shop door opened. Officer Daniels stepped inside, stoic, broad-shouldered, and very done with everyone's nonsense today. "Ma'am," he said to Karen, "I need to speak with you outside." Karen puffed up like a rooster. "I will not be treated like a criminal." "You stole," I whispered. "Allegedly," she barked. Officer Daniels sighed. "Ma'am, we have video." The deal. Instead of arresting her on the spot, the officer pulled Brandon and Mia aside. They talked quietly for several minutes. When they returned, Mia cleared her throat. "We've decided not to push for jail time," she said. Karen smirked victoriously. "On one condition." The smirk vanished. "You will pay back every cent," Brandon said, "and until you do, the judge has approved a community service option." Karen squinted. "What kind of community service?" Mia smiled sweetly. "You'll work here, at Dockside Brews." The café exploded in laughter. Karen turned purple. "I will not," Officer Daniels interrupted. "It's this, or a felony charge." Karen opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. Nothing came out but a squeak. "Fine," she spat. "I'll work here." Karen's first shift. If you've never seen a woman who thinks she's royalty being forced to wipe down café tables, let me paint a picture. She held the cloth between two fingers like it was radioactive. Every 30 seconds she muttered, "This is beneath me." Customers ordered extra foam just to watch her struggle. At one point she tried to give a customer an HOA violation for improper posture while drinking. Brandon had to physically remove the pen from her hand. Then came the espresso machine. "This thing is broken," she said. "No," Mia replied, "you have to press the button." I did press the button. "Press it firmly." "I am pressing firmly." "You're pressing the wrong one." She fumbled for so long the customer canceled their order. Her second shift was worse. She burned 2 lattes, spilled milk all over herself, and accidentally knocked over the signboard out front. Twice. But the town loved it. People came from other neighborhoods just to see the wall lady doing penance. Dockside Brews made more money than it ever had. The breaking point. On her 10th shift, Karen snapped. A teenager politely asked for extra caramel drizzle. "No," she said flatly. I'll pay for it." He offered. "No." "Why not?" "Because you don't need extra sugar," she replied. "You clearly already have too much energy." Mia overheard and stormed over. "Karen, apologize." "No, Karen." Karen slammed a cup on the counter. "I am and HOA treasurer." "Not anymore," I said from across the shop. She spun around like a malfunctioning robot. "What did you just say?" Gerald stepped out from behind me. "We voted," he said. "It was unanimous." "What was unanimous?" she demanded. "You're removed from the HOA," he said. "Permanently." Her jaw hung open like a door off its hinge. "You can't remove me." "We already did. This community needs me," she screamed. But the truth was, it really didn't. The final twist. She finished her required service hours. Barely. But something strange happened in those weeks. Something nobody expected. Karen changed. Not dramatically. Not magically. But a little. She started apologizing. Not to everyone. She wasn't a saint, but to the baristas she had insulted. To Mia, especially. On her last day, she placed something on the counter. A brand new tip jar. And inside it was more money than she had ever stolen. "I'm sorry," she whispered. Mia nodded slowly. "Thank you." Karen walked out, shoulders a little lower, voice a little softer. A month later, a flyer appeared on the HOA bulletin board. Community Appreciation Day, organized by volunteers, not Karen. Free coffee provided by Dockside Brews. Across the bottom was a note written in her handwriting. "I'll be there helping. I promise not to steal anything this time. Dash dash dash." And that's the story of how the most feared HOA Karen in Cypress Hills stole from a coffee shop, got caught, was forced to work there, and somehow learned a little humility in the process. It wasn't a perfect ending, but it was the closest thing our neighborhood ever got to justice served with a side of caramel drizzle. Dash dash dash.